everybody, welcome to the first study vlog. We're looking at Adorno's An Introduction to Dialectics today, and this video might be a bit disparate because I started recording this a year ago. Whoa, someone's at the door. Yankee candle just arrived. I thought I'd treat myself to some scented candles. Oh god no. It's interesting. Also, I've come to the conclusion that my videos are so dull, like insanely dull. So here's me doing a haul. Ooh. Oh, now this transports me.
Adorno starts his Introduction to Dialectics by describing a hermeneutic way of thinking where concept and thing continuously inform each other. I'm calling it hermeneutic for now. The dialectics aspect is the tension between concept and thing. Dialectics is not merely a method of thinking, but should sustain the tension between concept and the thing comprehended. Nothing should be reified and pinned down, because how do we know what the world or things are really like? We cannot perceive the absolute truth of a thing because things aren't what they seem. The world presents a facade.
This thing about the facade, I think he's saying you can't take things at face value. What you think you know about a thing isn't the essence of the thing. Life presents this facade. I think in the sense that life is imbued with preconceived ideas, and he really critique it dialectically. All these preconceived ideas should just fall apart.
Adorno says his dialectics differs from that of Plato's in the sense that Plato's dialectics organised concepts into levels, ideas being the highest and the thing being fundamental. Although Plato knew philosophical thought continues to inform our consciousness without us realising it, he did assume that what could be understood was immutable, such that concepts could be framed in accordance with nature.
Plato seems to have this higher idea, it seems to transcend time for some reason, and Adorno's like, nope, we have to constantly keep critiquing things.
Adorno says that things cannot be so easily grasped and must evolve as one continuously with our conceptualizations. But what about Hegel?
I don't know anymore. Okay guys, I'm ridiculous. More Yankee candles have arrived. This is nice. So far I'm on lecture 2, and this is what I understand a dialectic to be. So, you have a thought about a thing. Let's just call it the dialectic. Here's the thing. And then you have a thought about a thing. So like, you understand it. You make a concept about it. And this is the concept of dialectic. But then, the dialectic now has your concept around it. So this is now a thing with your thought on it, and the dialectic is the process of change here. And basically this is like this, what I call an iterative cycle or hermeneutic framework, and it just goes on ad infinitum. There's no fixed state, it's constantly evolving. I suppose it's a way of not getting tricked into sophistic manipulation. It's not just falling into truisms or dogma, it's to continue to critique and think about what you're observing. And I have noticed actually that he writes these lectures in a dialectical way, because he keeps repeating the same thing but adding bits, and so the way we perceive the thing changes throughout the course of all the lectures or the book. I thought I understood it a moment ago. I've also learnt that this constant changing in this thing between concept and thing is the movement of the concept. We don't have a single definitive concept, it's never fixed, it's constantly in a process of moving. The movement of the concept.
In Lecture 2, Adorno talks about the movement of the concept, where concept is both the method used to comprehend a thing, but also, through an iterative process of comprehension between concept and matter or thing, it is the essence of the thing itself.
Adorno says, the movement of the concept describes what happens with our concepts when we think.
Dialectics simultaneously expresses an opposition between concept and thing or matter, and yet expunges such oppositions in the way it is the totality or the whole, as the entire range of all the developed individual contradictions, as Adorno says on page 6. Adorno explains how the movement of the concept can be understood by focusing on the object, or the thing, or the matter. All that is must be comprehended as something in movement, as something that becomes.
Something which is to be unfolded through the concept of something which is dynamic in itself. and is thus not simply the same as itself, of something which is not identical with itself once and for all, but rather of something which is actually a process. So it is the process of understanding something.
In addition to all this, time affects the meanings of things, and the things themselves, I suppose.
That's something else now. I'm on page 12. Basically, there's another thing that affects the changing. It's a constant change, and that is time. So time happens, and I don't know if it's linear or not, because that's like we're getting into all the weird philosophies, but for argument's sake, I'm just going to think about it like this. So a dialectic in this particular epoch will be different from like how you'd think of a thing. The thing we're conceptualizing. The thing we're conceptualizing will be different in this certain time. It'll be different in this certain time, different in this certain time. Some people will say this is you have a certain thing of a certain area and then it becomes reified and solidified in that time, when no, things are constantly evolving and changing.
Adorno writes that truth is affected by time, and because of this we are never really in a position to attain the full and absolute truth. In short, truth is not static. Dialectical thought sees the idea as constantly changing, both temporally and in the process of comprehending in a single moment. Does a single moment even exist?